Econometric theories. Theory review dùng để làm gì? For author, the purpose of theory review is to concretely examine the theory that has accumulated in regard to an issue, concept, theory, and is the first step that we based on to find the ideas. Choose the variables, investigate the relationship between independent variables and the dependent ones. The literature theoretical review helps establish what theories already exist, the relationship between them, to what degree the existing theories have been evaluated, and to develop new hypotheses to be tested. For reader, provide background information as a basic for readers to better understand the context of the research. Build the new collections between your research and the set of previous research papers, helping to develop and advance knowledge in that area of research. Identify need for additional research to prevent duplication. How to use descriptive statistics in econometric. Descriptive statistics are brief descriptive coefficients that summarize a given data set, which can be either a representation of the entire population or a sample of a population. Descriptive statistics are broken down into measures of central tendency and measures of variability. Measures of central tendency include the mean, median, and mode, while measures of variability include standard deviation, variance, minimum and maximum variables, kurtosis, and skewness. In econometrics, it provides a brief summary of the data set used in the model. For example, we can determine the outlier or high leverage by comparing the standard deviation with the difference between the observed value with the mean. We can also compare the central tendency and variability of variables in this sample with the numbers in the same field or in previous studies to see anomalies in the dataset. A correlation matrix is a table showing correlation coefficient between variables. Each cell in the table shows the correlation between two variables. A correlation matrix is used to summarize the data as an input into a more advanced analysis and as a diagnostic for advanced analysis. For example, if the correlation coefficient between two variables is too high, there will be a high collinearity, and we can remove these variables to summarize a large amount of data where the goal is to see correlations between the variables to input into other analyses. For example, people commonly use correlation matrices as inputs for exploratory factor analysis, confirmatory factor analysis, structural equation models, and linear regression when excluding missing value as a diagnostic when checking other analyses. For example, with linear regression, a high amount of correlation suggests that the linear regression estimates will be unreliable. Linear. A model that assumes a linear relationship between the input variables and the single output variable. More specific that y can be calculated from a linear combination of the input variables. Absolutely change in x leads to the absolutely change in y. Log linear, a mathematical model that takes the form of a function whose logarithm equals a linear combination of the parameters of the model. A slope coefficient measures the relative change in y for a given absolute change in the explanatory variable. Linear log, a model that uses natural log values for your independent variables and keep your independent variable in its original scale. The absolute change in dependent variables is measured by the relative change in independent variables. Log, a model that uses natural log for variables on both sides of your econometric specification. The coefficients in a log model represent the elasticity of your y variable with respect to your x variable. In other words, the coefficient is the estimated percent change in your dependent variable for percent change in your independent variable. Interaction. The model tells you whether or not exists the effect of an independent variable on a dependent variable change, depending on the value of one or more other independent variables. Adding interaction term to a regression model has real benefits. It greatly expands your understanding of the relationships among the variables in the model. The effect of one independent variable is impacted by scalar of other independent variable and vice versa. Wrong functional form and omitting variables. the heaviest error caused biased estimation.